Hi student, myself Dr. Dharampal Singh, Associate Professor of Department of Computer Science and Engineering, JS College of India. Your paper name is the Formal Language and Automata Theory. As you already know that prerequisite of your subject, data logic, computer organization, and computer fundamentals are there. And these are the outcomes of your subject. When you read this one after the completion of the course, you are able to get the knowledge about the machine which have the different outputs. You are able to understand that what is the Turing machine, what are the limitation of the computers, and what is the grammar, how they are useful to solve the some programming language. So these are the COPO mapping of your subjects, and these are the course contents of your subject. Now today class is the NFA with the null move. Means here if the non-deterministic finite automata is given with the null move there, how we can remove. So you can say that, sir, what is the need of this one? Why you are going for this part? Because we know that many automators are there with null move create the problem. Suppose I am giving the example. In case of vending machine, we have divided that the definition, or you can design in such a way that without the null move we can get the product. So it is not good. Without giving input, your machine is performing tasks. So these type of things are not good. But due to some problem, we have to design it. So here we are target is that we have to remove this NFA which have the null move by the some technique. Okay, so here you can see this is the example where the, as I already mentioned that the what is the meaning of this arrow symbol with the state, what is the concentric circle is there. As you know that this one initial state and this one is the final state, and these two are the null move. Okay, so when you going to remove the null move between the two states there, so there is certain rules are there. So try to listen carefully what are the rules are there. The rules is saying that suppose we have to choose the vertex, oh sorry, okay, so we can see that when you go further this part, we have to suppose choose these two vertex, suppose. So we have to suppose this is the V1, I can say, and this is the V2. The rule is saying that the I can remove the null move between the vertex by vertex or pair of vertex. Okay, if I choose V1 and V2, I can cross this one, there is no null move. After that, it is saying that first you have to cross this one, and then you have to check from this part. Okay, taking the input, whether where they are able to reach. By taking the input here, if you remove the move between these two, okay, you have to check that. I have checked that waiting the 0, we are in this place. But in this case, if I take the 1 there, I will be the in Q1. Okay, if I take the null, I can go to the Q2 there. Okay, so what I can say, so when you remove the null move between these two vertex, the first task is that rename the vertex as V1 just for the simplicity. Okay, so like this is a V1 and V2. Now you have to copy that V2, taking the input where it is going. Suppose I can consider this is the V2, means Q1. Taking the 1, it is going to the self state, means Q1. I can write, okay, here I can write the Q1, it is a better for me. Again, Q1 taking the null where it is going. You can check Q1 taking the null, it is going to the Q. Okay, so these two are there. So what is the so first step is rename these two as a vertex, disconnect this one, After that, check that the vertex V2 taking the inputs where it is going. Here I have taken that Q1 taking the one self loop, so Q1 is there, and Q1 null go to the Q2. So third step is saying that, so without changing the edge label or direction, we have to make the changes here because this is already disconnected. So from Q0 to this Q1, we have to make the edge with the input as one. So now you can see here this one. Now Q0 taking the null, we have to make the edge Q2. Now you can see this is. So in this way we have to design there. Again I am saying that first step, make this one as the V1 and V2, means where I am removing the null mode. After second step, we have to check from taking the input where the your vertex V2 is going. Okay, so here we have done. And third step is saying that third step, without changing the edge label, we have to start the thing with the V1 and make the final states of this one. So here we know that taking the input one from Q0, we can go to the Q1. We have to given the direction. And here I can see Q2 null from Q0 null Q2 given. Now after this we can see null is present here, null is present here. So we have to remove these two. So now you can see this step. In this step, what we have done, if you see this step, I have taken this is a V1, again this is a V2. Now V2 taking the input where it is going. You have to check here 2 by taking the 2 V2 means Q2 taking the 2 where it is going. It is going to the Q2 itself. You can see Q2 itself there. Okay, Q2 itself. So here one point I have missed, because step number 1, I said that we have to rename, delete this one. Step number 2, check where the V2 taking the input is going. Third number is that we have to make them, we have to start from the V1 means Q0, and where states we are reaching, we have to by input, we can draw the label there. After that one, step number 4 is that if the Q0 is initial state, make this is also initial state. So that is the error there. If it is final state, means V2 is the final state, make this one is also final state. But here I can see Q1 is not final state, so not required to make this one as a final state. Okay, so this process is applicable also here. We have to delete this. And step number 2, by taking the Q2 input 2 where it is going Q2. So your task is that we have to make one edge here, and from which input it is going to. You can see this is a Q2. So I have started from this one, step number 3. So if it is initial, I can make this is also initial. If it is final, make this is also the final. You can say this step. So this will be arrow here. Okay, this is a mistake. Now we are getting null from these two places. So I can make this is a V1 and this is a V2. Okay. Again, you have to check that the V2, okay, taking the 2, it is the going to the V2. V2 means the, sorry, Q2. Q2 taking the 2, it is going to the Q2 there. Okay. So we have to delete this part, make this edge from this part. If it is initial state, already this is initial state. If it is final state, this is the final. So in this way, we have to remove the null production from the given grammar. Okay, so again, I am saying that step number 1, make this is the vertex, remove the null production, check where we are going by taking the input of V2. We have done it, taking one Q1, taking null Q2. Third step is saying that without changing the label, okay, and the direction, we have to start it from the Q0. We have done Q0, 1, Q1 given. Q0, null, Q2 given. If it is initial state, V1 is initial state, make this is the initial state. If it is final state, this is the final state. So in this way, we have to go. So here I am giving one more example to you to solve it. Okay. And here there is one mistake. Consider this is the your null mode. Okay. How we can solve it? So try to think how we can solve this example there. Again, try to learn it. So if I say this is a V1 and this is a V2, you have to check that V2 means Q3 taking the input where it is going that. So I can say Q3 taking the 0, it is going to the where? It is going to the Q2. Am I right? And taking the 1, it is going to the Q4. Okay. So rule 2, step 2 is saying that without changing the label, you have to cross this one. Okay. And then from V1 taking the 0 Q2, I have to make one is direct here. Second one, V1 taking the 1 Q4, I can make direct edge between this with 1 and this with 0. Okay. If it is initial state, make this is the initial state, so it will be the initial. If it is final state, make this is the final. So this is not the final state, so not. Now you can see this figure. So I hope that this one clear your doubt. Thank you to you.